Well, it seems to me that if Diddy goes to jail, all of his enablers who stood by, watched, did nothing.
New details in Sean Diddy Combs' ongoing legal battle have been uncovered.
So the feds have now made their plan, revealed their plan, at least. It's all part of this letter.
Said nothing, reported nothing, should be right there in jail with him.
Oh my God, it was so good. I mean, that movie was more sexually charged than Diddy's credit card. I mean, seriously.
Was condemned by many online for a gross Diddy joke in her opening monologue.
Hollywood's glitzy facade is crumbling as Sean Diddy Combs' trial casts a shadow over the entertainment industry. Coercion at his infamous parties have left former allies scrambling for cover, with whispers of more shocking revelations to come as the world watches. The question looms: who else will fall before justice is served? Sean Diddy Combs, once an icon of the music industry, is now at the center of a scandal that has shaken Hollywood to its core. As his trial approaches, a growing list of celebrities who were once associated with him is reportedly anxious about the potential fallout. Nikki Glaser's recent Golden Globes joke about Diddy's notorious past reignited public discourse, leaving many wondering how deep his influence ran and who else may be implicated in the web of allegations surrounding him. Allegations of abuse and
On September 16, 2024, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was arrested in New York City and charged with racketeering, trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in relations for money. Prosecutors allege Diddy ran a criminal enterprise involving forced labor, kidnapping, and bribery. At the center of it all are so-called orchestrated erotic activities where Diddy allegedly directed men and women in X-rated performances. Many were said to be unknowingly filmed and blackmailed. Purportedly, victims, some underage, were controlled using threats, violence, narcotics, and money. Raids on Diddy's homes uncovered videos, firearms, and curiously, over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Combs denies all charges, but if convicted, faces up to life in prison.
We are committed to bringing justice to everyone who's been victimized by the defendant.
I hit rock bottom.
At the 2025 Golden Globes, host Nikki Glaser took a jab at Diddy during her monologue referencing the infamous nature of his past parties. The joke drew mixed reactions, with some in the audience laughing uncomfortably while others remained visibly uneasy. Critics called the humor insensitive given the gravity of the allegations, while supporters defended Glaser's willingness to address controversial topics.
Oh my God, it was so good. I mean, that movie was more sexually charged than Diddy's credit card. I mean, seriously. Oh no, I know, I'm sorry. I'm upset too. The after party's not going to be as good this year, but we have to move on.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you what jokes you left out of your monologue.
Some of these would get pitched and we're like, we can't say that on CBS.
Oh,
we cannot say that to these people's faces. So I go, move it to the Stern file. Like we can do it on Stern. And it's so nice because at some point you go, stop pitching these. We can't do them on CBS, but now there was a place for them. So, you know, it's such an incredible honor to be here at the Golden Globes, Hollywood's 7th most important night. The Golden Globes is the only show where you can see the biggest stars in movies and television join together with the same goal: getting out of here tonight before Dax Shepard asks them to do his podcast.
That's
and
great.
Think of it, this is the last time all of you will be in the same room together until the Diddy trial. So at one point in the show, I go, oh, look, it's two-time Holocaust survivor Adrian Brody, because he's been in 2 Holocaust films.
Right.
Yes, and I said, you know, if Adrian Brody could go back in time, he would thank baby Hitler for his career. And that
approach contrasted with previous hosts like Ricky J.Y., known for his unapologetic style, while Glaser's commentary was less biting. It still highlighted the elephant in the room: the industry's reckoning with Diddy's alleged actions and the potential involvement of others.
We have to move on. I know it, Stanley Tucci just doesn't have the same ring to it, but
That face kind of says it all.
No baby oil this year, just lots of olive oil, okay?
Look, I found that funny because it's a Stanley Tucci joke. It's a Stanley Tucci joke. He does cooking all the time. He does cooking with Stanley Tucci. He's like that whole thing. He's like Italian olive oil. That was the joke. I didn't find it as offensive. Personally, I think everything can be jokeable. You got to try to find the laughs in it, or else it's just too depressing of a world. I mean, she is calling out, the parties aren't as good, which I think a lot of people in Hollywood are starting to feel like, oh crap, we can't have as much fun at these parties anymore because we might be called out. Now, that doesn't mean they were going as far as Diddy was going, but I do think this joke walked that line where I could see why some would be offended, but honestly, I think she could have gone even harder. I would have enjoyed that.
Diddy's parties were legendary for their extravagance and exclusivity, attracting roster of Hollywood A-listers. Attendees included music icons like Jay-Z and Beyoncé, actors like Ashton Kutcher, and fashion elites like Naomi Campbell. However, the darker side of these events, dubbed off parties, has become a focal point of investigations. Allegations suggest these gatherings involved coercion, non-consensual activities, and the use of illicit substances.
Who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
Yes,
right?
without a doubt, you are invited.
Over 200 individuals have come forward alleging abuse by Diddy or others connected to his circle. Some high-profile figures like Jay-Z have faced separate accusations, including one claiming he assaulted a 13-year-old girl, a claim he vehemently denies and is counter-suing for defamation. This has left many celebrities scrambling to distance themselves from Diddy and his now tainted legacy.
There are more sex assault accusations connected to the case against Sean Diddy Combs. The latest involves hip-hop mogul Jay-Z, who issued a vehement denial. This morning, a blistering response from Jay-Z after he was accused of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl more than 2 decades ago. The billionaire hip-hop mogul was added to an existing civil lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, citing an alleged incident after the 2000 VMAs, where the victim claims she was drugged and assaulted by both Diddy and Jay-Z while a third celebrity watched.
The judge has actually agreed that the victim can remain anonymous and that the case can proceed. So there seems to be a little bit more to this case.
Jay-Z vehemently denying the claim, writing, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away." Also saying, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence." Jay-Z also attacked the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, who fired back saying, "I won't be bullied or intimidated." Busby is behind at least 20 of the sexual assault lawsuits against Combs, who calls Busby's lawsuits shameless publicity stunts.
As lawsuits pile up and investigations deepen, legal experts are advising celebrities to remain silent. Wayne Dennison, the attorney who represented Johnny Depp in his High-profile case against Amber Heard. Stressed that public statements could backfire, he cited Prince Andrew's infamous interview about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein as a cautionary tale.
Now, Wayne Dennison, who represented Johnny Depp in his successful lawsuit against his former partner, Amber Heard, told Newsweek that celebrities should not make public statements as it will only leak them to Combs in the public eye and may attract more lawsuits. Now, the principal advice that I would provide celebrities known to have attended one of the now infamous parties thrown by Mr. Combs is to keep your head down, not up. Now, quite simply, there is no good reason to proactively address anything related to Mr. Combs unless and until you are dragged into the spotlight. Like Jay-Z. Now, Prince Andrew's disastrous effort to get out in front of the allegations concerning his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein should serve as a cautionary tale to those who hope to proactively persuade others that nothing untoward ever took.
According to Dennison, celebrities who attended Diddy's parties should avoid engaging with the controversy unless legally compelled to do so. This approach aims to minimize potential reputational damage and legal exposure.
So the investigation is ongoing. That means both as to him and to anyone else who we believe committed the crime with him.
It's important to note that the Southern District of New York is very selective with their cases. So if they're throwing the book at Diddy, it means they have the dump truck full of receipts to back it up. So who are all the celebrities being named? Which ones should we actually be suspicious of? And what the hell happened at these infamous parties everyone's talking about? Because not only is it worse than you think, but we've been missing the clues dropped by Diddy and his friends for years. Today, we are going to dive into the allegations and sift through Diddy's celebrity relationships to determine who is actually at risk of indictment themselves. Because what makes everything even more hazy is that Diddy was famous for throwing white parties, which were on the whole just regular parties. Like LA locals could often buy tickets to get in. But it's the after hours free parties where things got jaw-droppingly nefarious.
Diddy's trial has amplified conversations about toxic masculinity exploitation and the entertainment industry's complicity in enabling such behavior. But what I find
that people aren't talking about enough is definitely the network of enablers that Diddy has that have allowed him, if he is indeed guilty of these things that he's accused of, that have allowed him to run rampant and fly below the radar for so long. We tend to see this same network around anybody who has substantial means, whether they're entertainers, politicians, or even drug dealers. For the past 5 months, we've seen a lot of former associates of P. Diddy coming forth, whether it's Gene Deal or Mark Curry, who I believe is one of his old producers, coming forward to say what they have witnessed when they were working or hanging out with Diddy over the years. They're all stepping forward to talk about witnessing Cassie being abused, as well as other women, most notably the mother of several of P. Diddy's children, Kim Porter, who died several years ago from pneumonia. Mark Curry alleges that he's seen Diddy break the nose of one of his ex-girlfriends. He also incriminated himself by saying that he witnessed Diddy slipping something in a woman's drink in a club. You didn't warn the woman? You didn't try to stop her from drinking it? You didn't try to talk to Diddy about it?
Comparisons have been drawn to Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion, which similarly veiled alleged exploitation behind a facade of glamour, while Hefner largely escaped condemnation during his lifetime. Diddy's case has brought a sharper focus on accountability, raising questions about racial biases in how these scandals are perceived and addressed. Others suggest that Hugh's parties just didn't have the same lack of consent. He
was white, Diddy was black. I guess that was it. So guys, what y'all got?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you so very much for watching.
Diddy faces charges of racketeering and transportation to engage in prostitution, with his trial set to begin on May 5th. 2025 pre-trial motions are ongoing and the case is expected to uncover more disturbing details about his alleged activities. A federal raid in 2024 uncovered hidden cameras, illicit substances and adult paraphernalia, painting a grim picture of the so-called free parties.
We're now getting a closer look at the mountains of evidence federal investigators collected at the homes of P. Diddy leading up to his indictment. This includes things like guns, ammunition, electronic evidence, and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and personal lubricant. To understand all this and how it relates to Diddy's case, we're hearing from former CIA officer and FBI agent Tracy Walder. I'm Sarah Gillespie, and this is Long Crime News. Major news this week out of New York, where now disgraced rapper Sean P. Diddy Combs was arrested and taken into custody. On Monday, a grand jury indicted him on multiple federal charges, including racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Homeland Security took Diddy into custody at the Park Hyatt in New York. According to his legal team, Diddy's been in the city for the past week ahead of these anticipated charges. So Diddy may have had a heads up that these charges were on the way, but it wasn't a complete surprise to the rest of us either. Federal investigators issued search warrants on 2 of Diddy's homes this spring, and that's when experts told us it's not if, but when Diddy will be arrested.
Against Diddy have also spurred lawsuits from victims, with over 120 credible cases filed so far. Victims range in age from 38 to just 9 years old at the time of the alleged abuse. These lawsuits are expected to implicate other high-profile figures, potentially widening the scandal.
New details in Sean Diddy Combs' ongoing legal battle have been uncovered. The music mogul, who is currently in jail awaiting trial on federal charges of racketeering and prostitution, to which he's pled not guilty, is facing several assault allegations from over 100 people. And now one of his accusers has been revealed to be Anna Kane, the ex-wife of NHL star Evander Kane, according to court documents obtained by TMZ on December 6th. Anna, who split from the athlete in 2021 following 3 years of marriage, was ordered to share her identity in the filing if she wanted to move forward with her lawsuit, in which she accuses Diddy and others of plying her with drugs and assaulting her in a New York City recording studio in 2003 when she was 17, per TMZ. Combs has since denied her allegations, according to the documents obtained by the outlet. Anna, who shares 1 kid with Evander, didn't initially want to share her name publicly, originally filing her suit in December of 2023 under the pseudonym Jane Doe, according to a court filing viewed by Page 6. Now, the 38-year-old says she is refusing to back down from the case.
The parallels to other high-profile cases such as Jeffrey Epstein's are hard to ignore. Much like Epstein's circle, Diddy's alleged actions reveal systemic issues within the entertainment industry, including the use of power and influence to exploit and silence victims.
Marlon Wayans came under fire when people unearthed his 2009 tweet saying, quote, "Been doing Diddy's parties for 15 years and I must say you never let me down, Puff," unquote. But he's since claimed that he didn't even know the freaks were happening.
I've been to plenty Diddy parties. I left early. I swear to you, I've never seen the stuff that they claim to be going on. I've never seen it. I never, those aren't the type of parties that I go to. I don't frequent those type of parties. And even if I go, like I said, I've never seen any of this. I'm like, when I hear about it, when did that happen? At what time did this go down? Because I was there until 3:30. You mean at 3:32? So they waited for me to leave? Like, all right, good. That Wayans nigga's gone. He talked too much.
Granted, I don't consider leaving at 3:30 early. That's way past my bedtime.
The fallout is far from over. Legal battles and public scrutiny are likely to persist as more deaths emerge, potentially implicating others who were part of his world. Ultimately, the case serves as a stark reminder of the importance of accountability, transparency, and justice even in the most privileged circles of society. So, what do you think? Are these just wild conspiracy theories, or is there a darker reality lurking behind the glitz and glamour of fame? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more updates, and hit that bell so you never miss a thing.
It makes sense that they'd wait until he left. Because what we do know from people coming forward is Diddy was selective with who he pulled into his dark and twisted inner circle. One alleged partygoer, Tony Wilrich, who's known as the Gay Crip, explained he was specifically recruited to join the Freak, even though he didn't know what it entailed at the time.
PD don't reach out to you himself. He have his people reach out to you, so it can be confidential. You know what I'm saying?
So not everyone that attended a Diddy party is automatically complicit in these f***s, which might be named after Atlanta's Freaknik Festival.
I'd be surprised if he lived past the end of September, because he is a dead man walking. They got money offering. First to kill this is $100 million to your favorite family members.